I love this gallery. The music was great. The artwork is beautiful. The sculpture, it is so creative and inspirational.
I am pure narcissism, the separator, the hard wall of reality. I'm the acid to the rosebud.
You're a publisher, right?
Inspiration may set you in motion. Creativity keeps you moving, but talent is what resounds in the brain.
Talent. I'm bristling with it.
Poet, you confuse ability with conceit. The Talent Club's exclusive. Its membership, only the absolute best.
Best is my middle name.
Originality, perfection. I don't see that in your work. I see a journeyman striving for the aesthetic, but struggling to recognize his own creative redemption.
I am not untalented.
Why say not untalented when you could have as easily said talented? With talent, you must be mindful of the striations deep in the fabric of what most people see as inexpressive.
Are you rephrasing Plato's myth of the cave between consciousness and reality?
Consciousness, unconsciousness, sociology, psychology, reality or fantasy, it makes no difference. I'm a force that bursts past all obstacles.
A force that bursts? This isn't Richard III. We're trying to be very Noel Coward in this act.
Well, near clever witticisms will never get you to the verbal magic needed for an identity of feeling.
But
you have to be emotionally direct.
But with an intellectual nuance.
Oh, put simply, artists base decisions on insight and a passionate sense of self. Their triumph comes when their capabilities are universally recognized. They've reached the summit.
There's an audience out there. They've listened intently. Now it's time to put all the ingredients together and present artistry. Bring out the dancers.
The lyricism of paradox and composition.
I like your theatrical TED Talk idea. Is that what we're all doing here?
We're garnering attention. Soon Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London, they're going to be calling.
Do we wait to be discovered, or do we pursue our destiny?
Pursuing destiny, the call of the wild.
That's like squeezing the juice out of a key lime. It's meaningless unless you're actually making a pie.
As usual, poet, you've taken us down a path that leads to nowhere artistic.
I'm not drifting. I feel I'm at the pinnacle of moving from unique to phenomenal.
We were dealing with expertise, how deploying a unique mode of expression leads to a distinction, grace, and harmony of style, to differentiate one artist from another.
Ah, the marriage of charm and skill to achieve spellbinding results.
Luckily, we have a very talented singer ready to entertain us.
Poet, you need to pay attention while I sing.
No, come here, come here. I want to do a duet with you. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I've been practicing, all right? Everybody loves somebody sometime.
I think it's best for you to listen.
It wasn't good? No? It wasn't? Okay. All right.
L'aurora di bianco vestita, già l'uscio dischiude a gran so, di già con le rose seduta, carezza dei fiori lo stuor, commosso da un fremito arcano, intorno al creato già par, e tu non ti desti ed invano ci sto qui dolente a cantar. Metti anche tu la veste bianca e schiudi l'uscio al tuo cantator. Oh, non sei, la luce manca, ove tu sei, nasce l'amor.
Thanks for warming up the crowd. I'm going to do some poems now, starting my favorite, Picnic at the Asylum.
Peter, this poet's getting on my nerves. We're focused on talent, not hope.
Well, he does gamble with priests.
I'm aware of everything that surrounds me. The lengths creativity can go, the strides made by inspiration. Well, that's just the beginning. An artist, to be true to his inner nature, must go further. All great artists travel to and from the unknown. You can see the stardust on their faces.
Huh, what is that, a line from Peter Pan?
A determining factor for art is an audience.
We artists are talented exhibitionists.
And we crave admiration and applause.
Because our goal is immortality.
An audience validates us. Each clap is like a heartbeat. Each smile, the nourishment we need to continue.
A delighted audience is a gauge that moves an artist to celebrity.
Without an appreciative audience, everything becomes stagnant or crumbles.
Applause, the ultimate praise, the recognition of perfection staring back from the mirror.
Mirror. Poet Robert Frost and I are mirror images of each other.
Robert Frost skillfully used language and insight to express philosophical themes. Talented poets make us want to believe, be inspired, live vicariously through their words. You propel us nowhere.
Ugh. All poetry, all of it, is the mind expanded.
Determination is a conduit that links creativity, inspiration, and talent. Too little of it, and the artistic identity never genuinely forms. Too much, and it's blinding.
But with the proper proportion of ambition, the artist moves toward distinctiveness.
Emotions react to art. They try to deconstruct imagination.
Yes, the explicit seamlessness compels all to be amazed.
For talent to be bathed in daylight, it needs that carefully nurtured path between uncertainty and conceit. Those tangled canopies need to be cleared to allow the sun direct access to the artistry.
I don't get this. This is beginning to sound like Pirandello's play, Six Characters in Search of an Author.
Creativity, inspiration, and tremendous talent were present for Botticelli when he conceived The Birth of Venus, when Shakespeare envisioned the character of Hamlet, and with Debussy when he changed the direction of music with Clair de Lune.
Adoration is not assigned to any artist. It's bestowed upon those who produce great art.
I think we need more entertainment that showcases talent.
Are you saying me or we're not entertaining?
Now, it's time for sheer beauty. Bring out the dancers.
to see that sophistication of movement proves my superior aestheticism.
Oh, really? You know, you suffer from an overinflated sense of infallibility.
Poet, your function as a writer is to pierce the cloudiness of words. You're still prancing about, never totally comprehending. As an artist, you must relate what illuminates above what reason implies may not be possible. There should be no obstacles between your words and the audience.
My mind is continually rinsing out the correct words and at lightning speed.
The right word is arbitrary and very personal.
Oh, would you rather have had Hamlet say, to be cool or uncool? That is the mood, dude.
Is the oceans colliding, becoming one melodious force, rushing under storm, to separate and forge tributaries to become oceans once more, but deeper, bluer, and more powerful.
You know, it's the same with words. They collide, they twist, and they mingle, and they procreate, and they love, and they hate. And each one can be found waiting to be used.
Who do you prefer to emulate? Passionate and bold like Wagner, contemplative like Beethoven, or
No.
elegant like Mendelssohn?
None. I want to be me and to have my own voice.
Then get out of your own way. You're not your words. Become an observer and a demonstrative participant in what you want to express.
I explore new approaches, ignoring the tyranny of popular taste.
I have never heard the definition of vanity put so succinctly.
Artists must distinguish between dreams and impressions.
I recall this quote: poetry cares nothing for reason and ignores intelligence.
Another poet said, poets should not be able to distinguish between dream and reverie.
The father of modern art, Cézanne, said, a work of art which did not begin in emotion is not art.
And if Groucho Marx were here, he would say 3 quotes, add 1 more quote, and you have a gallon.
All of you make me laugh. I'm what lies at the furthest most reaches of the world. All the uninspiring are left behind while the gifted few reach the journey's end, locked in my arms, seeing, hearing, and feeling acclaim and exultation.
I firmly believe we have no control over what we find appealing.
All art needs a narrative.
The avant-garde would disagree. They instinctively tend to combine focused discernment with evolving mindfulness. They want freedom from the constraints of contemporary artistic language in all mediums.
Avant-garde? I'm a member of that elite group, and my writing leaps from the literal into the metaphorical.
Oh, yes, an achievement of transforming the world into a version of your own subjectivity no one but you understands.
Forget about all this rhetoric. Art is about the love of beauty. Listen to one of the greatest songs ever written. Nessun dorma, nessun dorma, tu pure, o principessa, nella tua fredda stanza, guarda delle stelle che tremano d'amore e di speranza. Ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me, il nome mio nessun saprà, no, no, di leva notte tramontate stelle, all'alba vincerò, vincerò, vincerò.
That was beautiful. When I closed my eyes, I saw luscious colors filling in the darkness.
Well, you know, real talent is just an extraordinary depth of social intelligence, which I naturally possess.
Where do you find these terms? This is simple. Talent is the capacity to captivate, enthrall, mesmerize, and it has a lot more to do with emotions than logic.
I know that talent is like a starry summer night in Paris. Nothing else compares.
I'm creative, inspired, talented, and look at the play I'm in. And now we don't even know if this is a play. This isn't Broadway, LA, or La Scala. All artists experience borderline rage because we have no control over the forces that thrust us to stardom.
It is a play. We have conflict between us and the forces that drive us.
That is not the conflict. The real battle is between who we are and who we strive to be.
I know a famous movie star who saw his name in lights on a marquee and lamented, "I want to be him."
Art is an addiction, and it forces artists to become secondary to their work. Art can become the evil twin.
If you take away my brushes, I would be swallowed up by the serpent called conformity. I would be indistinguishable from a still life painting.
You wouldn't feel talented. There are times where I meet my own image, and when I do, I catch glimpses of another world consisting of what others have no concept exists.
Other significant forces may help shape artistic destiny, but I'm still the outcome. I'm fulfillment. The most tragic thing that may interfere with talent is self-doubt.
All the apparitional ingredients for one to be elevated into the uppermost echelons of fame are before us, but distinguishing them does nothing. We must display them.
No words can accomplish the task of expressing what a soul-set aflame with passion signifies. It can be shown but never explained.
Art is our blood, and pleasure just it's coursing through our veins. And evil is when artists become drugged with the obsession of greatness or failure, and art is stripped of its meaning.
Deny your artistic purpose and discontent will haunt you. Use the word failure to describe yourself, and you will find life unbearable.
Yes, but self-questioning leads to self-discovery.
Whitman Gauguin left his wife, children, job, home to become a full-time painter. Do you think he was suffering from delusional desires?
Well, he had Cezanne and Pizarro encouraging him.
Don't confuse reassurances with obsession. One helps transcend vulnerabilities. The other produces outstanding art.
An artist's passion for art must be unquenchable.
An artist is precarious by definition and their path inescapable by design.
I will always have an appetite to go beyond myself, to leave me behind and let the artist move forward, to have that glow like Dali and Picasso had, that assurance that they were artists.
That is accomplished without the weight of sentiment.
The artistic process is no whim, but we as artists have to have self-fashion ourselves into the templates of the giants that came before us.
True, but we also need to know when the leap is necessary to move from pattern to distinctiveness. As was said earlier, to be completely naked and proud in front of the world.
They say real artists are 50 years ahead of themselves. I remember seeing Andy Warhol's work. I didn't get it, but now I understand his work wasn't meant for the 60s. It was intended for future generations because his mindfulness of replication has come to fruition.
Sometimes the preconscious of the world is brewing a need, and an articular of that need appears, like Sinatra, Elvis, or the Beatles. The world needed those precise, talented artists at that specific time to remind humanity that art has enormous value.
They made the background noise go away so we could search deep inside ourselves and find collective and personal worth.
They had an identity of feeling that was emotionally direct. Their singing bypassed the head and went straight to the heart.
And they didn't put themselves between the words and the audience.
Music is a flow of time. Every note is complete and gone before we realize we've heard it.
And timing is crucial in the artistic process.
Absolutely. Charlie Chaplin, Clark Gable, Dietrich, Brando, all perfectly timed for their eras.
A great artist is sculpted by time.
Often we dream so vividly of success that it becomes unreal, an imagined place that never crystallizes.
Artists must always be creating, never doubting their abilities.
Creativity, inspiration, talent are just words. Easily said, but what we really want is to borrow pleasure from happiness move past gestures, and become the best artists we can. And at that moment of acceptance, to move beyond where we thought we would never arrive.
That is where I want to be, beyond my capability, in a realm of magnificence where all art, all of it, is appreciated.
Time for me to go. You understand the world is disordered, arbitrary, and harsh. I won't explain it. That's for philosophers. I express eloquence, splendor, and incite both the heart and the mind. Yes, poet, the brain provokes the heart to express what the mind finds impossible. And the exquisiteness of art is that the reverse is also true.
When that happens, spirit soars. For what is art but the soul of man attempting to understand himself through beauty?
Art is a glorious web, finding your place within it, your journey.
The artistic process is a tumultuous ride artists take to express themselves, at times leading to heartbreak, and at rare times being crowned a pioneering genius.
Art streams from the soul to the heavens.
Poet, we have faith in you. Put pen to paper with heart and mind and articulate what we've learned.
You have all the elements now. Your moment has come.
Be the gifted poet you are and write our story.
They're leaving.
Do you know what I think?
That I'm an obnoxious but passionate poet.
Poets shouldn't drive cars. They should pilot skyrockets, engines spewing words, plumes of metaphors creating stories about romance and wildness.
Poets are explorers above the clouds, their curiosity leading them beyond all that is wondrous into realms where mysteries of bliss caress all that can be lyrical.
As the fiery sun has no language and dreams have no oracles, renderings, themes of moonlight, fashioning time with Plato.
The sky's imagination, writing poems that make the stars sparkle and strangers fall in love with art.
Remember, my part should be sublime.
So, is the artistic process a glorious quest? Maybe it's witchcraft. I know at times it is just maddening. And then I hit on the right words with the exact meaning that I want, and I comprehend at that moment artists dwell in a place where beauty remains forever. And when artists are at their most imaginative, they always sense there's something around them, something ethereal, a clarity, like a burst of white light from the heavens, a wonder that breathes life into all art and makes it vital. I have it. I have it. I will write a play about the artistic process, and I will call it The Apparition. What are we going to do now? Thank you.
All right.
Right?
So, yeah, we did it.
No.